So one of the people that one of the things that we've been talking about, and one of the things that we've been doing. Okay, so now we've got it together. Okay, I apologize for that. We had some technical problems there for a few minutes. For some reason, the powers that be did not want us to do this thing here. So yeah, no, we're okay now. We're okay. Elena says, I win. So let's start the whole thing all over again. Good evening, everybody. Yes, Plopsy is here, but he's off skulking. So we won't deal with that. Be that as it may, however, thank you very much for being here this evening. We certainly do appreciate it. This is GainerWorld Live. If you are new to this little thing, this is what we do every week. We get to talk. We have people in the chat room. Chicago Boys 61 is there. Always appreciate that. Donna Abbott is in there. We appreciate that. Elena's in there. Thank you very much, Elena. Always appreciate you coming by. And we're just kind of chilling. We chill for the next hour, and we play a couple of songs, and we catch up on things. And the phone lines are open, so if you try to message me, then, yeah, that's the last thing that you really want to do. Because I will call you out live on the air. So, anyway, one of the things that we do, where's your sister? Sister is out with the family this evening. I got a text from her earlier this evening saying that she's going to miss the show, but she's going to catch the rerun. So, so anyway, I have DMs coming in all over the place. I've got things coming in from Facebook. This is just the silliest thing in the world. Thank you ever so much. And then it as confusing as it is for me, it's actually quite the compliment. I do appreciate it to know that people are enjoying the show and trying to get a hold of me and just generally harass me. But, and this is why I said, okay, for those of you who can't see this, I want to show this because, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. If you can't see it, very simply, it says, don't grow up, it's a trap. I got heavily complimented for this shirt in a Subway one today. I walked in and the guy just pointed and went, you're right. And I went, I know. So there's that. Where was I? Yes, WRGG, the Hug Show. If you're a regular viewer to our little soiree, you know that radio station WRGG in Greencastle, Pennsylvania is a big fan of ours. And they have been playing my album quite a bit to the point where I've had at least 4 songs of mine from that album in at least the top 10 of the Hugs Top 100 chart. It's a wonderful show that spotlights the unsigned independent artist. And Cyrus Gray and Jeff Trish have become very good friends, and we really do appreciate it. We're getting all kinds of information. The Hugs Live Drive is going to be going on Wednesday, September 23rd, live at WRGG. Yes, you can hear it. They have set up a website, wrgg.org. You can listen to the show. You can keep up on what's going on. And when we do this live, it's going to be live open mic on the air. That hasn't been done in probably 50 years. Donna says road trip. Yes, you are right. You are right. Road trip, because this Gainer is going to be doing this. And I'm very proud to say that I'm going to be traveling out to Greencastle to play on this radio station that is heard in 14 countries. So I'm very, very happy about that. I got the Jeep, says Donna. Yeah. Okay, sure. I'm sure you've got the rope and the chloroform too. That's what scares me. But at any rate, but it's all good. So we'll have more information on that. We're trying to get the host of the show, Cyrus Gray, to come on and give us a little bit more information about that and give you a little bit more of an update. But please write it down, wrgg.org. Listen Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, 7 o'clock Central and 8 o'clock Central, respectively, for the 2 shows. We're very, very happy to be part of it, and we're going to be very, very happy to be playing live for them in September. It's going to be the first live appearance I've done since last year. It was last December before the coronas hit. So that's happening. Very happy about that. What's with the technical? Well, yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes YouTube giveth and YouTube taketh away. What can I tell you? Not sure what it is, but it is. But that's happening. But of course, the big news, and y'all know what I'm going to be talking about here. Aunt Becky's going to the Slammer. Yes, it's true. If you are a fan of the show, Lori Loughlin, who played the irrepressible Aunt Becky on Full House and Fuller House, you might remember was involved in the UCLA tuition scandal, and she's going to jail for 2 months. They sentenced her today. And all I can say is, boy, Uncle Jesse's going to be really mad. Can you imagine being her kids? You know, they can't even get into UCLA. You know, they can't even get into college without mom's help. You know, trying to sway the faculty. Elena says 2 months. It'll be soft prison. Yeah. You just kind of get the feeling that, you know, are we talking home confinement? Are we talking community service? You know, it'll be a soft prison like Martha Stewart. See, when Martha Stewart was in jail, I always had this vision of her. If you've ever seen Goodfellas, and there's the picture, and there's the guy, one of the mafia bosses, that you go into his cell, and he's got the music playing and the soft lights and the draperies, and he's making calamari. You know, it's gonna be like that. You know, Donna says just 2 months. She'll be out in a few weeks. Yeah, on good behavior. I think her husband got 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, because I guess he was the mastermind behind the whole thing. So I don't know. Yeah, Aunt Becky's going up the river. You do wonder if John Stamos will come and visit her. I mean, is that going to happen? Can you see, you know, can you see Bob Coulier, you know, just heading up to San Quentin to say hi to Lori, you know, just for all times. Okay, her husband got 5 months. Well, you know, 2, 5. I mean, I'm sure it's all relative after the first couple of weeks. You know, man, Becky's going to become some bad girl's girlfriend. I don't know. But does that happen? Does that happen with extortion? Does it happen with embezzlement? You know, Elena says, I just looked her up. Her net worth is $20 million. Yeah. Just the Full House residuals alone set that family up. Okay, not to mention her repeated appearances on the Love Boat. So, yeah, not sure what's going to be happening with that. So we've got that going. And again, this is one of these shows tonight that we're just going to kind of wing it. I usually have a notebook kind of like this that I have sitting here, and it's usually filled with all kinds of thoughts and little trinkets and silly little ideas that we can fill an hour with. But this week, between getting ready for the Hug Show and getting ready for this, obviously, and trying to find a place to live, if you haven't heard the news, it looks pretty good that the condo deal that we had going was dead. Is dead, but we might have something else up our sleeves. Yeah, Elena's asking how that condo viewing go. It went pretty good. It went well. And I was really happy with it. And then my realtor, Donna says, you have 0 thoughts. Odd. I see what you did there. No, as I said last week, that the apartment that the one that I went to look at last Saturday was owned by the same condominium association, and they wouldn't even talk to him. They wouldn't even talk to my realtor. So Chicago Boy 61 wants to know, imagine the Hallmark Christmas movie they'll write for her based upon this trip, A Confinement Christmas. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, Chicago Boy. Thank you for reminding me of that. Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah, that's going to be, yeah. You know, and the theme song for the soundtrack will be John Prine's Christmas in Prison. I mean, you just have to. So, yeah. So anyway, so the condo search goes on. We've got other realtors. We've got like 3 realtors working for us right now. And we've got places that we may have lined up. We're just taking it day by day right now. But like I said, the contest is still on. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I am going to be moving out of this apartment. I am going to be moving to another place. And it's just a question of, pardon me, I think I swallowed a Buick. It's just going to be a question of when. And when we find out when, you'll know. And if you send your entries into admin@timgainer.com and you are the closest person to guess the date of my leaving this apartment for the last time, you can win a signed vinyl copy of Honor Among Thieves, autographed by me, with this hand, because I'm left-handed. I could do it with my right hand, but then you wouldn't be able to read it at all. Not that you'd be able to read it with my left hand, but that, stop showing up in a dress. Why start now? I'm just saying. So anyway, with that in mind... Oh, goodness me. One of the things that I've been doing is one of the things that I've been doing, obviously, when you do the show that I'm going to be doing in September, it's a little bit different from any of the other shows that I've been doing in the past, in that usually when Elizabeth Jenkins just came into the room and just said, that shirt is too big. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But then, you just want to see the 6-pack. I understand. Really, Donna wants ABBA. No! So, when you do a show like we're going to be doing in September, you have to remember the fact that you're actually going to be playing not just for the radio audience, but you're playing for an audience of the caliber of the show that we're going to be playing. And it's a little bit intimidating because I'm actually going to be playing for about 14 countries, which I've never done before. I mean, I've obviously, played for relatively large people. Donna says it doesn't show off my curves. You're right. I'm just trying to hide my girlish figure. Elena says, I see what you mean. The right shoulder is way off. Hey, who cares? My hubby likes wearing them big. Well, Elena, I don't care. He's not getting the shirt. Forget it. So I've been trying to think of what songs to play for this particular show. And I thought about this one, and I know I've played it before on here, but I just felt the need to play it one more time because, well, I can. This was written in 1970 by Johnny Mark and John Allman, who had a very big jazz fusion rock band in England by the name of, strangely enough, Mark Allman. I was going to ask you what songs. How many will you play? That's 14 countries, asked Donna. Does that include Berwyn? Berwyn! Yes, actually it does. And it even includes Joliet. Think about that. So that I don't know. How many songs am I going to play? They are in the process right now of getting confirmations of acts. I have confirmed it. Megan Paulette has confirmed it. Stephen Hawks, very, very well-known singer-songwriter in southwestern Pennsylvania. He's confirmed it. One of the best metal bands I have heard in a long time. That's coming out of that comes out of the Gettysburg area. A band called Yigga Digga. They're going to be playing. They're playing an acoustic set, which I'm really looking forward to hearing. And the list is growing. I can tell you that. Again, we're going to try to get Cyrus Gray and or Jeff Trish on the show, and we're going to have them explain everything and what's going on. But this thing is growing, and we'll find out. That's about the best I can tell you. But I wanted to just play this song because this was on the original long list. And this was done by Mark Allman in 1970. The date again, Elena, is Wednesday, September 23rd from 4 o'clock Eastern Time until 12 o'clock midnight Eastern Time. So that's 3 to 11 Central, Chicago time. Check your listings. And you can hear it. Yes, you will be able to hear it live at wrgg.org. They also have an app. They're also on the TuneIn app. So, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Let's get through this. Like this song. Haven't played it. I played it a couple weeks ago, but feel like playing it again. What I say to my best friend, can't you see what a mess I'm in? My daddy, he taught me to drink whiskey, but my mama, she died from a drinking gin. My brother, he worked in a coal mine, worked so hard to get his pay. And my sister, she believes in sweet Lord Jesus, and she's waiting for redemption day. What am I living for? Why am I living? Why am I giving all my life? Bring up a family, children, and wife. Believe me, my friend, hasn't that been done before? I remember my first job. I was a singer with the band. Every payday came around, I took my money from the man. He said, now spend it wisely, boy, or save it while you've got the time. But I got high on the stand, and I lost the band. Now I'm standing in the unemployment line. What am I living for? Why am I living? Why am I giving all my life? Bring up a family, children, and wife. Tell me, my friend, hasn't that been done before? I had me a sweet woman, mine till the sun don't shine. I came home one morning early, and I found her with a friend of mine. It's not so much I needed her, but oh dear God, had to stay away. So I packed my bags and I hit the road, and I hadn't seen her till the end of her days. What am I living for? Why am I living? Why am I giving all my life? Bring up a family, children and wife. Listen, my friend, it's all been done before. What am I living for? 'Cause it's all been done before. Tell me more. So there you have it. I haven't played that one. Well, yeah, I think I played that a few weeks ago. If I did, well, I probably botched it. Not as bad as this time, but that's okay too. Donna says room for 5 in the Jeep. Okay, so so that's me, Plopsy, 2 guitars, and my suitcase. So yeah, okay. So I guess I'll just have to borrow the Jeep, and that'll be that. Just saying. Anyway. Again, if you're new to this, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. Can you take Danimal? Can he fit in the suitcase? And just so you know, I'm packing for a week, so there's going to be a lot of clothing. Okay? And 2 guitars. And, of course, whatever Plopsy brings. Because he's bringing a suitcase. He's already got a bag of candy packed. And it's a big big bag of candy. Okay? Of course, there's his case for his kazoo, which I'm still trying to talk him out of. So we'll see what happens. Where are you headed? Where are you headed for this? Elena wants to know. We are headed to the bright open lights of Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Population 1,500 people, 12 cows, and 20 peacocks. And everybody wants to know how the 12 cows got there. It's a little town. I will not lie to you. It is a little town. But they have this radio station. And from what I understand from Cyrus Gray, is that it is, for a guy in Chicago, it is, how can we say, a separate reality. Obviously, it's going to be fun to see this from a historical perspective because I'm going to be right outside of Gettysburg. So there's all that. There's that whole area. Pardon me. It's allergies. It's allergies. It's not the coronas. We're going to be fine. Don't worry about a thing. So yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that for the historical side of it. I'm also looking forward to it for the radio side of it, because I kind of, being a radio guy, have a little bit of a hand in this. How much of a hand, I don't know, but we'll see what happens, to be sure. But something tells me once I get there, I'm going to be very, very busy, which is nice. We'll see what happens. So anyway. Again, thank you very much for being here this evening. If you are just kind of hanging out and you're not joining us in the chat room, why not? Come on in. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Because that's really the whole idea behind this entire show. Sincerely. We just kind of hang out. There's no other way to put it. We just lay here and chill for a little while. Yesterday was National Radio Day. Yes, it was. And happy National Radio Day, Chicago boy. I did not get a chance to wish you that. Chicago boy and I go back for a little while. Yeah, I think about, well, my standard line to this day is I spent 30 years on the road, 10 years in radio, and 40 years in vain. So, but no, I had fun. I had fun in radio. As a matter of fact, it's funny you should mention it because I got a hold of a scope of all of my wait a minute. Is it incestuous to walk up the intro of your own song? I'm not sure where you're going with that, pal. I'm really not sure where you're going with that. And I'm kind of, just the word incestuous. The minute I see that, I just kind of go, okay. I mean, please, let's remember this is YouTube. But, no, I found a scope of all of my old, I made like a 10-minute scope of some of the best bits that I did when I was in radio, the 10 years that I was in radio. And it's a good time, and I miss it sometimes, and then I roll over and go back to sleep. So, but yeah, and there's so many people, so many friends I made along the ways with that. Okay, you Chicago boy, you got me on this. Is it incestuous to walk up the intro of your own song? No. Now that I think about it, it's not. A couple of other things that may be illegal in several states, but certainly not that. Anyway. So we've got that going on. And again, the search for a new condo, a new apartment, a new place to live goes on. Not really sure what we're supposed to be heading for. We got something. We might have something planned for next week. We might have a lookie for next week. Dude, I'm here, says Marcelo Obregon. And again, Marcelo, you're late. What the heck is with... If I've told you once. Hey, Tim. Yes, that would be me. Unrelated to anything. Unrelated to everything, says Elena. He said tongue-tied. Danimal just heard on the radio that Sister Jean is 101 today. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. Happy birthday, Sister Jean. That's very cool. I'm flabbergasted by that, to be really honest with you. Do you know who she is? I think I know who she is. If I'm not mistaken, she is the one that talks to that goes to like Cook County Jail and talks to the inmates, or she's related to them in some way. That much I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because no, says Elena. Okay, so then I'm wrong. That explains it. Okay, then please, Elena, please refresh all of it. DePaul basketball. Oh, yes. The Ramblers' #1 fan. Yes, DePaul basketball. Okay, I remember now. Yes, and she's the one. No, says Liz. Loyola, sorry. Okay, people, let's get it together here, okay? It's bad enough this show is as disorganized as it is. Now I've got the viewers going crazy in the chat room. Please. No, I'm just kidding. Isn't she the one that also predicts the World Series winners? I know that there's one particular Catholic nun that does that. This is what happens when we don't all show up to the meeting. Tell me about it. You all got the memo. What the heck? Says, I don't know. Okay. But What time do we lose control of this crowd? I'm just asking. Um, Popsy suddenly looking at me like I'm nuts. So yeah, no, I didn't. 7 o'clock. Yeah, I hear you. 7 o'clock when we weren't even on the air. One of those days you say to yourself, technology is your friend right before you put the ball peen hammer right through the monitor. So, oh goodness me. That's why there's coffee. But no, as an update, we do have a, it's a love-hate relationship. No, it's not, Elena. I love you. You know that. We've been friends for too long. I wouldn't do that to you. You're a fine, kind person. I would never hate somebody like you. Unless you owed me money, at which point I would have to break your fingers one by one. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? With technology. Okay, great. I'm so glad that you cleaned that up for me. Thank you. So, we may have something next week. We will definitely keep you in the loop on what's going on. And hopefully, we're going to be out of here soon. Because we're both really sick of living out of cardboard. I'm telling you. My life has never been this badly disorganized as it has been in the course of the last 4 months now, 5 months almost. I don't know. All I want is a place to live. Am I asking too much here? So, but while we're waiting for that, why don't we do this real quick? As I said, we are trying to think of songs to do. This is one I'll probably definitely do. And I've said it before. Did you ever get the chance to look up Cashman and West? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Elena, for reminding me. Yes, I did look up Cashman and West. And I saw the word baseball. And the minute I saw the word baseball, I went, oh, okay. And there are videos all over YouTube about baseball and softball. Pardon me. Just allergies, not the coronas, just allergies. So yes, I did see that, and I did check them out, and I did hear the song. And yes, I know that they did softball on The Simpsons, and I get it now. And it was an extremely obscure reference, and I did not catch it until I actually had to see it for myself. So you got me on that one. Very proud of you for that, by the way. Marcelo, I need work done on my 12-string. Come to Chicago and fix this, will you? I'm definitely going to be doing this song. And I know I played this song a lot, but I'm very happy with this song because it was like, yeah, I know, I hear it. Sounds like an Ovation sitar. Let your mind wander. Okay, so this was the B-side of the Hide and Seek single. This is the only place that you'll find it. And this also was a top 10 track on Hugs. And I'm quite happy with it. It was written by Shel Silverstein. And it was recorded. I originally heard this. I know Dr. Hook did a cover of this, but I never really heard that version. I heard this version that I play from Bob Gibson, the late Bob Gibson, on his Funky in the Country record. And it goes something like this. Never got to know her very well. All we did was spend a little time. If you're waiting for a story, There's really none to tell. She's just a passing shadow on my mind. But I remember her on the streets of New York City, and here was I, looking for some place to go. I turned and said, hey, the snowflakes on your lashes. She laughed and said, that isn't snow. She said, it's feathers from a pillow God is shaking in the sky. She opened her smiling lips to catch a snowflake passing by. We both began to laugh. Then I looked into her eyes, and it was warmer there. But I never got to know her very well. All we did was spend a little time. If you're waiting for a story, there's really none to tell. She's just a passing shadow on my mind. But I remember her as we woke up warm together in her flowered room. She said, I'll help you pack. She sewed my shirts. I said I'd stay forever. She laughed and put some cookies in my sack. She said, leave a trail of cookie crumbs as you walk through the snow, and I will follow after and find you where you go. We both left in the doorway. Oh, why, I'll never know, but I was younger then. But I never got to know her very well. All we did was spend a little time. You waiting for a story? There's really none to tell. She's just a passing shadow on my mind. Never got to know her very well. Yeah. I love this one, says Elena. Thank you for playing it tonight. Thank you for listening to it tonight. I enjoy playing it. And it's for that very reason, because I love that song and I know that it makes people happy. So thank you very much. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. And that's one of the songs that we'll probably end up playing in Greencastle. Not sure. Not sure. I mean, it's still... I've got a long list that I'm going to break down to a short list. And when the time comes and I find out exactly how long I've got, I'll throw everything out the window and start all over and come up with a completely different list. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you very much, Lena. I appreciate that. And we'll see what happens. So what else is going on in our world? Like I said, this is one of these shows tonight where we're just kind of winging it, and we're flying by the seat of our pants. Not that that's anything new on this show, but we're just kind of opening the forum, not really planning anything other than just to talk to you guys and do what we always do every week, which is just kind of let our hair down. Just kind of let our hair down, as it were. I still, and I know, I mean, it looks weird. I've had people comment, about my hair, growing it long. I'm going bald, says Marcelo. No, you're not, man. I've seen videos of you. I don't want to hear it, okay? Just stop it. But I just... Has anybody gotten... And I know this is going to sound like a very strange question, but has anybody gotten their hair cut during this pandemic? Have you been sheltering in place more or less? Yes. I live alone. I very rarely go out. And when I do, I have this very cool, stylish black mask that I wear at all times. Somebody just gave me a truckload of PPE once. So yes, I am very well protected. And I live alone. I don't go out except maybe to go shopping. It's not like I'm very social. Anytime I talk to the boys, it's by phone. Thank God for video chat. Thank God for Skype and Zoom. My big outing today was to the emissions testing site. Whoa, pace yourself, girl. Don't go blowing the wad all in one shot. Okay, you know, I mean, you want to save some of that for the DMV. Okay, I'm just saying. You know, between that, your taxes, and maybe, you know, the dentist. Okay, with my 21-year-old minivan. There's nothing, as long as it gets you from point A to point B, that is to say point V. I'm doing okay. I had a car that I gave to my youngest son, Matt, because I decided to break down and buy a better car, and he needed one, so I just kind of gave it to him. And it's I want to say it's a 2002, 2003. It only has under 150,000. Well, yeah, you know, as long as it's still running. I'll tell you a quick story about a car that I did have. I had a Ford Taurus. And it was a great car. I bought it used to begin with. And I was told by many a human being that the body will fall apart before the engine does. And I drove this thing probably about 100 miles a day, because I'm working jobs and, you know, taking care of the boys, and I've got to get stuff for the house and the dog and yada, yada, yada. And I'm going down the highway one day. This is a true story. Going down the highway one day, and, you know, clipping along, everything's good. All of a sudden I feel boom. And I look in my rearview mirror. And if you know anything about Ford Tauruses, they were small cars, but they had these two really cool radio speakers in the back for, you know, the rear passengers. And this thing had been rusting. The body had been rusting through quite a bit. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. Until the strut from the rear tire decided, the body had decided it had had enough. This was it. The car has just decided, that's it, we're going to die now. And I'm on the highway, and the strut literally popped the speaker on the passenger side out. And the strut is showing through. So now I'm kind of driving like this. Okay? And I figured, okay, you know, at least I can get it home. And I did eventually get it home. But 3/4 of the way that I got it home, the other strut decided to go out. So now the car is like this on the highway. Marcelo says highway to hell. Yes, it is true. Yeah, that is absolutely true. But yeah, it's true what they say. So that's, you know, when people tell me I've got this, you know, 86 car, or I've got a 95 such and such. Hey, you know what? If the thing is running If the thing is still in one piece, if it gets you from point A to point B, count your blessings. I will put it like that. I have had so many used cars in my lifetime. In fact, that's all I've ever had is used cars. I've bought cars for $100. I've bought cars for $10,000. But if it runs, it's great. Yeah, Larry too, says Elena. Okay, that's Larry being her hubby, which is fine. So yeah. Allergies. Not the coronas. It's allergies. Requires a good mechanic. Yeah, I don't know, because I've never really been a mechanic per se. I mean, I know how to work on cars. I just generally, what's the word I'm looking for? Hate it. Yes, that's it. I'd rather chew on glass than work on cars. I really sincerely would. I cannot tell you how much I hate working on cars. And I because I had used cars, obviously I had to I was forced to. So I know what I'm doing to a certain degree. But yeah, Lena says, no, you need a good mechanic to keep you running. Yeah, that is true. You do that. You do need that. Fortunately, we had a guy that it was like one of those situations where if something was wrong with the car, we would just drive it up to the garage. You didn't need an appointment. You didn't need to call him. You just drove it up, and he'd look at you and go, what now? Oh, well, serpentine belt broke. Oh, okay, cool. He'd get underneath it, fix it. Life is good. If it was something major, that was the only downside. Yeah, if that was the only downside, was if it was something major, it would take him weeks. And I do mean weeks. Because the guy was so good. He was so good. Everybody in town went to him. So, obviously he'd get backed up. And he didn't have, people per se. Pardon me. It was just him. And you'd see him working there 7 days a week. So, but yeah, he was that good. So there's that. Oh my gosh. And Elena says, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, again, if you've got a car like that, count your blessings. It's good to have stuff like that. It really is. And look at the money you're saving. That's the way I look at it. You don't have to, I mean, you might be, doing the nickel and dime thing because of repairs, but that's trivial next to a car note. And I will say only that. Trying to think of one more song that we can do before we get out of here. Elena even says, I spoke with my mechanic yesterday. He has a 26-year-old car with 200,000 miles on it. Life is good. Yes, you are right. In fact, I'll tell you another story. Okay, we'll forego the song. I'll tell you, we'll swap car stories tonight. Welcome to Auto Talk here on YouTube. I had, and people will remember this, I had a red Chevy Astro van. And it wasn't just any Astro van. It was an Astro cargo van. And it was an industrial Astro cargo van that had the gate that separated the passenger area from the rest of the cargo bed. It's a red cargo van that had the doghouse. And I know for a fact, when I bought it originally, it had 180,000 miles on it. And I bought this car for like $200. Long story short, I had put on an additional 130,000. So this thing had 350,000 miles on it by the time I got rid of it. And I sold it. This is a true story. I actually, we were moving from a house that we were renting to a house that we had bought. And I needed to get rid of this car because this car was not coming with us. That's just all there was to it. And long story short, the day before the move, I sold it to a kid, and this is not a joke. I sold it to him for $30. I gave him $30 and the title. And I told him straight off, I said, look, either you take it now or Victory Auto Wreckers has one last space in their lot. And he's like, okay, well, will you take 30? Sure, man. Give me the money. Let's just get out of here. And the minute he did that, he took off. And as soon as he took off, this belch of white smoke comes flying out of the exhaust. And hear this clonk. The muffler falls off, and I think at the same time he might have thrown a rod, because all of a sudden, all this white smoke, this thing just starts belching out smoke. But yeah, 350,000 miles, and that thing was great. Boy, if that van could talk. I'll just leave it at that. If that van could talk. So yeah, by all means, like I said, count your blessings. What year was it? I want to say it was an 82 or an 83. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was an 82 or an 83, and I bought it. I sold it in 1999. So yeah, it was an 83. It was an 83 Astrovan, and had that great Chevy 6-cylinder engine in it. It ran like a tank. Absolutely ran like a tank. I will be very honest with you. If I ever get my hands on an engine like that ever again, I will buy a van like that just to tool around in, because those things are just so great. I love them so much. Impressive story. Thank you, Elena. I appreciate that. I plan to impress, at least myself, because I amuse myself so easily. Anyway, that's going to do it from here. Thank you ever so much to everybody that tuned in this evening. Please, by all means, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, because we are growing in subscribership. And just as a personal milestone, just so I can pat myself on the back and inflate my own ego, I'd love to get 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Please please hit the notification bell, because that way you can get the notification of when we're on next week. And we are going to be on next week. Make no mistake about that. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right here on this very website. That would be awesome, says Marcelo. Yes, do it. By all means, Marcelo, like, subscribe, do it. Do it. Don't ask. Just do it. Okay, no, I won't even go into that. But anyway, thanks to all of you, sincerely. I do appreciate it. We're keeping this little thing going and helping to build our little family here in the chat room. Thanks to everybody that participated. Thank you ever so much for watching. And like I said, we'll keep doing this as long as I guess that there's a Corona. Rock on, Gainer. Rock on, Chicago boy. Man, thinking about you. Have a great night. Tell Mrs. Chicago I said hi as well. But that'll do it from here. Thank you all so much. We'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. So we'll see you then. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. In other words, hey, if you like it, you know what to do. And we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, we'll just leave our standard ending. We'll just end it the way we always do. Like this.